Hey, it's Sam here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here tonight to destroy the delts. So I'm going to recap on last time and just say the barbell was really bad, but I think I can progress the dumbbell overhead press. So I'm starting with that. Then we're going to look at some completely new movements and variations that I haven't tried before, and I'll explain all of that a little bit later. So it's going to be a big workout on shoulders, mostly the delts, and then we'll talk about science and pro-science at the end. That's the topic for today if you don't want the workout and want to skip ahead. So I'm getting warmed up now, and then it's starting with the heavy stuff on the overhead press. Now on the warm-up, I may as well mention while I'm here what it is for shoulders. It's very similar kind of format to all my warm-ups. I'm just going to do dynamic stretches like this. I'm going to roll shoulders forwards, backwards, arms like this, a bunch of times. And then I'm going to start my first exercise, the dumbbell overhead press, with the baby weights, maybe like just 8 kilos, just to find my groove and not be starting from nothing. But then after that, it's every set to failure. Right, let's go. Felt good. So I picked up on set 1 where I finished off on sets 2 and 3 last time with the dumbbells, but a little bit achy, but I'm getting them up there for good reps. So I'm going to try a touch more for set 2. Challenge myself here. I'm going to take it up to the 42.5 kilo ones. I would like to do more based on the reps of that last set, but because I'm a little bit achy on there, I'm going to play it safe and just go up by 5 kilos total and see how I get on. But it will be a failure. I'll just get my breath back first. All right, here we go. Yeah! Woo! Oh, I'm happy with that. More weight, same reps. Now my usual way of things with sets is my default would be 4. If I felt like I wasted a set because I wasn't switched on enough and low effort, or I'm trying to get this more exercise when cutting down, I'll do 5 sets. And then I do 3 sets if I've gone a little bit heavier or if I've had problems. Now, this is a little bit heavier than last time, a little bit heavier than I've done with dumbbells I've had recently, so it's going to be 3 sets. This will be the last one. Because it's going well, I'm going to do something a little bit in between 3 and 4. So I'm going to do a drop set to finish on. So I need to find something appropriate to drop down from the 42.5s, I think perhaps 20s. I've made my selection. I found the 20s, they're in use. I wait for them and I've got them. I usually find that if you're wondering what to drop set with, going down to about half what you had usually works for a decent second set with similar reps until you know the exercise a bit better. That's a good way to start it. Right. I'll get ready with my 42.5s. This last set, the dropper. I love a good drop set, especially for shoulders, as I've probably evangelized about before on this channel. All right. Last one on overhead, let's fucking do it. No. Oh, part 2. Oh, that's good. I mentioned at the start that I was going to try a completely new variation of something, so I'm coming in with that now. I'm going to do my side lateral raises with the dumbbells. But I was seeing some information and videos that if you twist your hands like this for side laterals, it activates more of the side delt. Now, I haven't tried it exactly like that, and I was curious, so I want to road test it today. But in terms of the science and experience, we're going to return to this topic at the end of the video with that example, get into it a bit more. But I want to try this today, so as it's something new, I'm going to start with light weights just to feel it. So I've got the 12.5 dumbbells here, and I'm leaning up against the bench that I had previously to keep myself stable. Let's try that set one. Well, can't quite tell on that set, but at least trying these things keeps it fresh for me. But look at these little ones now. I'm going to move the camera around so you get a better angle of exactly how I'm doing this set 2. Don't worry, we're not going to stay in this corner of the gym the whole session, but it was quite busy. So I was lucky to grab one of the good incline benches, so I'm keeping hold of it for as long as we need it. And rattle through these. Set 2.
I want to know that if you're at the gym right now, need the extra boost just to like get you going, right? Skepta is the one for you, okay? If you're on that stair machine, just get gassed up. Skepta, gas me up, capital extra.
You know, I think it's worth me trying it even lighter just to get the feel, so I'm going to switch these over. I'm dropping it down to the 10s if I can get a little bit higher up with that. The only reason I'm showing you this camera angle though is I kind of want you to see the back of my shirt. Alright? Basically, if I feel like it's one of my main exercises and I want to lift a little bit heavier than normal and do a little bit better, I try and like wear a nastier shirt, you know? So like, maybe this one. Maybe this one's good for that. Or if I really mean business, it's like going to be a death metal shirt or hat. Like with a dumbbell bench press thing I've been loving. Anyway, that's about attire and more work. Yeah, that's interesting. It's sort of, I mean, I can't really tell that I'm getting that more in the side delt, but I can feel it more in my delt in general, doing it that way, so I think it might be worth keeping in the rotation if nothing else, but I'm going to be focusing on the heavy lifting, like, in general for these delt sessions like that. First exercise there. I feel like I can progress that to at least 50s easy, like in the next month or two. And when I'm more well rested and all that as well. Anyway, let's hit it again and move on. Last one on these. Like I said before, I feel like falling into a few partials for the end of a set lets you know that you're going to failure. It makes me feel good about my efforts to end up in that kind of state in most of my sets. Maybe you can try that if you don't already. If you're enjoying all these workouts and want to see me reach 300 pounds and talk about whatever you want really, if you put requests in the comments for me to discuss or demonstrate, I'll pick all that up. If you love all that, you should consider subscribing. So I promised you we'd have a change of scene, and a bloke just asked me as I came through if I was live streaming. I said, I'm not that confident that I'm live streaming this, it's just on a video. But I don't mind making a fool of myself a little bit. And here's Phil Heath here. And the only thing that I can emulate of Phil Heath is a little bit of abdominal distension going on, eh? Now, I'll quit messing around. Phil Heath, of course, was brilliant, especially in the early years. This was coming up in first Olympiads. But next exercise here, again, for side delts and rear delts, is going to be the face pulls. Now, little tip on this, if you're not familiar with it, make sure you keep your elbows high enough. Keep your elbows up, because if they drop, it's more the muscles in your back, like your lats and the teres, that start doing the pulling. If you keep the elbows up and pull towards your face, like I'm going to do here, keeps it in your shoulders. Obviously your biceps are helping a little bit, but you don't want your back joining the party as well, otherwise the shoulders get overpowered, and that's what we're trying to focus on with this exercise. So set one on the face pull. That was rather a lot of reps because these stacks aren't awfully heavy, but unfortunately it's best for me to stick here because they're the only ones with the adjustable pulley, where you just have the cable attachment on the top. You'll have it at the bottom as well, but that's no use. But when it's on the top, it's kind of hard to do it without the back joining, as I was explaining. So I put the full stack on now. Let's see if that's any better. Set 2. Not much better. But I was advised by one of you in the comments that this particular machine has a switch on it that makes the whole stack heavier. So let's take a look at that now. So we've got this little switch here, and I don't know exactly what it adds, but how does it work? And maybe you put it across, then put the pin in. No. Oh, you have to push that down. There we go. Right. We'll see if that makes any difference. I mean, maybe it's a little bit silly to go straight in with the full stack, having made that change, but I just want to see what the whole machine can offer now. I think these things are too complicated for me. That's like why I stick with free weights. They're much better for my simple mind, sticking with dumbbells. Here we go. That's more like it. Right, last one, here we go. Yeah, I feel okay. Think of something else. Keep this workout moving. There is actually a logic to this, by the way. I was thinking of an isolation for the side delts, one that's kind of blended through all of it, which was the face pulls, and now something to focus on the rear delts. I'm going to use one of those pec deck and rear delt combo machines when one frees up. But I just sort of explain the system behind my shoulder training routines. What I like to do is I miss out the isolations for the front deltoids because we use it so much in incline work and chest pressing of various sorts anyway. It tends to be overdeveloped in most people, and it used to be for me. For me to keep it in balance, I just leave it out for the time being. If it lags behind, I can put it back in, but my system is basically do the heavy lifting, heavy pressing first, and then the isolations for the side delts and the rear delts, using a mixture of machines depending where I am, and then some kind of finisher, and then probably every other session or every 3 sessions put something in as shrugs for traps, because I find they get worked enough from all the sort of T-bar rowing back exercises at that angle without putting in something specific. And with the kind of bodybuilding that I do, I don't want overdevelopment of the traps, because it can sort of negate the look of width on the shoulders by creating more up here and a rounded like appearance and not look as wide, you know, which really comes from the cap delts looks. I'm really focusing on the kind of work that makes the shoulders look wide, which is more that kind of side and rear delt look. So that's the logic behind my bodybuilding approach to shoulders routines and training, and why you'll see me put certain exercises in on some occasions and not others, and the rough order of things. So hopefully that makes more sense now that I'm not just I may appear to be running around the gym just making it up, but there is kind of system behind this. Okay, here we go on the rear delt fly. Set 1. Touch more weight there. Set 2. And set 3. This is the sort of thing there, smaller muscles that you can just really rattle through the sets with not too much rest. And last one, I think I'll make it a drop set. I just love them. I just love them for shoulders. If I'd been doing my usual stuff on the side laterals, I probably would have done the drop sets there, but I can make up for it here, and I did it on my presses, and I love it for shoulders. But increasingly, I'm loving it on chest as well. I'm working hard on those, but if I'm being totally honest, I feel like I may not have got the seat height right to get it quite on the rear delts as I would like, that I'd hit more confidently on a machine I've used more regularly, like over at Zone. So when I rewatch this, I'll be looking at whether I'd have this seat up and down to get it on the right spot, you know. So that's the delts suitably destroyed. If none of that makes sense, or you have any other questions about shoulder training or anything else at all, just pop it in the comments. Traps and the shrugs, I'm going to leave for another day when there's a little bit more time and I feel like I can really do it justice. Today was a success, especially on the pressing. Very happy with that. Aim to get up to the 50s as soon as possible. Stuff on the isolations, I'm going to take a little bit more care with the seat height and faffing around with the weight stack before I start my first set on a couple of things to make the most of that, I feel. So that's my conclusions on my session. But overall, another good one on this journey to 300 pounds. It's getting awfully close now. So on that note, to keep up with the other side of things, I need to get moving to get some food on. So it's going to be the rest of the topics over the food, maybe show a bit of post-workout meal for those of you that are new to the channel and haven't seen that yet, because I've got a very convenient way of doing that, and then tackle a couple of issues like this science and experience debate, if you like, and that'll be today's video. So if you're done with the workout, I can save you time and say that's the workout done. For those of you that are in it for the debates and the banter, stick around. Here's post-workout meal in the chat. So I'm back, and I did the unspeakable. I decided it's been a while since I've had a little cheat meal, so I had a big cheat meal to compensate. I picked up the Macca's, look, and the McFlurries. Now before we have disaster with these, because this is so big, I'm going to pop these puppies in the fridge. I don't want them rock solid, so they ain't going in the freezer, but I'm going to put them in the fridge just to keep them chilled while I deal with the rest of this ridiculous cheat meal load. Let me break it down for you. We got four triple cheeseburgers. That's how you're going to get the most beef. I'll just show you that. Look. 4 of these monstrosities, and then the pineapple stick for the bromelain to assist with that mother load of protein there, and the protein and the carbs, and then just to get maximum food in one go. When the appetite's done, I can sink the ice creams easily as well. So that all together is the Macca's bulk stack. Obviously, if you want the contest prep, you want the Macca's rip blend. You know, those combos that you get, the rip blend there. The rip blend is just a water and a black coffee on your fasted cardio when you see one of these open. So much more boring than this. I'm going to tuck into this and talk about a few things that I had in mind, because thinking about my exercises I wanted to try today, the idea was that new exercise, and it made me kind of think about this science versus Broscience thing. So it all came from a video that I saw where they had the devices on the muscles to see what's activating, and they found they turn like this, because basically there's 7 points of origin of the deltoids apparently. I never knew, so I thought, oh, that's interesting, maybe it will turn up something new. So they'd put that in, and that was the exercise that was going to activate the side delts the most. So I thought, you know what, I'll try it. I always try any of these things, provided it's, you're not completely out of left field. So I thought I would try that and give it a go. But what it immediately made me think of was a very old seminar by Larry Scott, where he was talking about how they used to do side lateral raises with dumbbells. Then he was always saying that the technique at the top was to turn them at that exact angle, and he described it as if the handle was like a water bottle and you were just tipping water out of it and coming out like this, and that was how they got the best delts gains, he said. So obviously he was like, top dog back in the 1960s or whatever. And that just made me think about this Broscience and science thing, where people just like play around with stuff and come up with stuff that they think works. But that usually just happens first from bros, basically, just trying stuff, and then often it's the science that follows. In this case, like decades later and explains like the why and the how. But that something works kind of always relies on this real world stuff, because if you prove something theoretically first, it still has to be put into a real life context to see if it, actually delivers what we think it was going to deliver from that armchair perspective. So, I'm interested in both, honestly. I mean, sometimes I joke around, and in the workouts I'm more in that mood of just hauling weight and want to enjoy it, and would seem anti-scientific, but I think there's a place for both of it. It's like kind of when you have in a cartoon, like the little shoulder angel and the devil, you need like the bro and the dweeb, and depending on the time and place, there's like a better one to have, Like, I'll give you a few examples to illustrate my point of that need for both and the synergy there. Like, if you contest prepped for weeks and weeks, to adjusted your whole life around it, worked really hard, got the body fat off, and now you want like a carb loading protocol, and you want to know the grams of carbs for your body and how to test it and how to do a test run of this load 2 weeks out before your show and get it right to adjust against and replicate and really nail it for really shredded, dry and full on the day of the show. Calculating that, that's when you need that's when you need the dweeb. Similarly, if you're getting like, a little bit testosteroned out with how much you're loving your bodybuilding, and it's making your little tits explode there, correcting that and what to do about it, what to take to get a handle on that immediately, same day. Again, that's where you need the dweeb, like, probably. But these situations where it's like, the main set of your main exercise for the day, you feel tired, you want to be, relaxing after the gym, these sort of like thoughts are messing with your focus, like in that set, and you get into those last few reps and really you could do 5 more, but you feel like just doing 1 more and giving it up. That's when you need the bro, and when you discover bodybuilding and you read about it and you see all the conflicting theories, and it makes you analyse stuff that you're so bamboozled in your head that it's stopping you from actually just starting and having a go at something. Again, that's a situation or scenario where you need the bro. So, for me, I love the theory behind all of this and all my readings and books and studies and contest preps and calculating things, but also it's a release for me and the highlight of my day, and ultimately meant to be fun to go to the gym. So I want to kind of show a bit of both and use a bit of both. And I think particularly with the training, it's very hard to enjoy it if you're trying to do perfect tempo and perfect reps. If you concentrate on that too much, it's very hard to concentrate, or almost impossible to concentrate on 100% effort at the same time. The effort's more important. So I feel like people gravitate towards, doing things perfectly with their reps and stuff as a way of like making it easier almost. And for me, that makes it no fun. And then if it's no fun, it's hard to be consistent. And if you're not consistently hard working, you won't get the results. So it's kind of more important in that, that way of thinking, to do things that you actually enjoy and make it fun, and just feel like on that training bit and tempos and reps in reserve and perfect form and full range of motion, if you overdo it with that stuff, it's like taking something that's going to be the most fun part of the day and making it basically really boring and lame, like you wouldn't want to stick with it for very long. and then you can't do it for long enough to get the result that this better method's supposed to deliver. So that's when I sort of criticise it. That's when I think I'm very firmly like, in terms of enjoying it and sticking with it. Yes, there are ways of doing the exercises, and yes, being safe is the most important, but then the next most important for me is effort and enjoyment, because that breeds consistency and results. And I'm very firm on that, that I don't want that way of things operating interfered with by, you know, overanalyzing it and basically making it no fun, making it lame, too lame for anyone to enjoy and stick with, you know. Right? Be like, you know, you meet a girl that you think is going to be really fun, and she's like, you've got to bag it up, it's not going in my mouth, can't pull my hair, I don't want it to take, you know, I'm getting tired and sore, I don't want it to take too long, and in your head, you know, now you've made this not fun, you're now wilting, you're now not up for it. It's like that with going to the gym. Imagine you've got, you know, your favourite day of training lined up. You're going with some friends. It's your favourite kind of gym. It's the best time of the day to go. You got your pre-workout going. You got that perfect stringer vest on where it just sits right under the lat. That you can take off your hoodie when you got a pump, and you know, you just up for smashing some weights. But your friend's new coach comes, and he just comes in and he's like, you know, we're going to use tiny weights, less than half the weight we've done before, and I want you to count like your tempo on the sets and full range of everything. You're just like, fuck, you know, my bro buzz is completely gone. You just, yeah, gone. Forget it. I'm only one burger in. I'm getting the meat sweats. There's a triple patty monster, so I think I can be excused. So it'll be like one down here and 3 to go. It's really the final exercise of the routine, hitting these, and like my sets, there's 4 of them. So yeah, set 2. The main thing that I wanted to say really was just kind of like a few examples of how there's a place for both, with the dweeb and the bro in your kind of info and encouragement you need with your bodybuilding and gym stuff. I just wanted to make the point that, you know, with the dweeb stuff, like, don't ruin the training, you know, don't completely destroy my bro buzz with the training, with you over forming it and stuff. It's not ballet, you know. But I'll come back to this issue another day, like give some more examples of when you need to be meticulous about something and calculate stuff and theorize stuff, and versus when you need to just be like revved up and go for it. And give more examples and come back to that another time. But that's just to sort of make a point. And I suppose now I can think about some of the comments that have come up, so that my computer here, a few comments coming in I can respond to. There's always 1 or 2 funny ones, you know. Like I love interacting with you lots. So if you do want to like potentially feature in a video like this, and get onto it in my comments section for this video, or any of them really. I do read them all and respond while I'm able. So the latest one's someone that messaged the other day on something, says, "Hey man, big fan of your channel, would love to get a session in the Bodyworks gym together." Yeah, I'm up for that. Like if you're not camera shy, which I don't think you are, judging by you got a bigger channel than me, so I'm flattered, you know, like a collab for me, and us sharing audience a little bit there would be awesome. Like if you're cool with that, and doing a bit of videoing and pushing ourselves at Bodyworks, yeah, I'm up for that. That'd be really cool. But yeah, Don't be leaving any reps in reserve if you're coming training with me. Next one, someone else likes the channel, that's great. This needs many more views. Well, look, it's a new channel, guys. Like, I've only been doing this a couple of months, and finding format that's nice and works for my schedule and works for your entertainment. So, like, yeah, it's picking up pace. It's growing nicely. But obviously, you know, if you ever want to help me anymore, just give it a shout out. Or I'm actually grateful that anyone watches it, you know, given that you could watch anything on the internet, right, and you're watching my channel. I'm already grateful for that. And when I feel like I've helped someone because they took a specific piece of advice or understanding and worked with it, which I do get messages privately on as well, that makes me really happy to be doing it. So, you know, even at this level, I'm very happy, very grateful. So thank you. And then, yeah, this is the funniest one. Like, someone says, this is earlier today, someone says, what's your thoughts on trend? It reminds me of the scene in American Pie where Jim goes, what does third base feel like? And then he goes, you want to take this one, Oz? And it's like warm apple pie. I just think, you know, what is trend like? It's basically, I mean, I put the serious reply in the comments, so you can look at yesterday's video if you want the actual answer, but really what it's like, the entertaining answer is, it's like having Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power album playing in the background all day, every day. That's kind of what it's like. Like this song. This is what I think of trend. Crank it up a bit, actually. Trends like that playing all the time, like this. But it's like, you want that mentality when you're in the gym. But then when you're like going to the cashier, like pay for your food and stuff like that, it's still all like people thinking, what the hell is wrong with this person, you know? Here's the picture of the record that this is from. Actually, I just wanted an excuse to play this solo. Like, how cool is this guitar solo? This is a Dimebag special. And then that's trend, and PCT is like mourning about Dimebag every single day, right? Turn it down. So obviously none of this is recommended. You don't want your life to go haywire. So none of this is recommended, and I'm gonna take it. Take it to something a little bit less intense. Well, am I gonna go? Something classic. I want something classic metal, you know? There we go. Just Judas Priest. I'm gonna go to, I was thinking to go to the Arnold Classic, but I'm gonna have to miss the last day. I'm gonna have to miss the Sunday to see Judas Priest. It was like the little one thing that's up there with bodybuilding is metal music. Anyway, I need to make some headway with these, so stand by. Thinking about this, it's actually going to take a while to finish these, and I've got a little more work to do, so good song to finish on. And that'll be it for the day, so hope you enjoyed today's video. I think the next session's probably going to be arms, or if I get to a rest day, it's going to be some more topics that are coming up, something helpful maybe with diet planning, maybe something else, you know, covering all of bodybuilding, so I don't need to rush any particular topic. It's a video every day and covering everything, so if you like all of that, please recommend my channel and subscribe, and I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you.